A little bit of difficulties along the way, unfortunately, but I want to say welcome back. I feel great to be back. As you all know that have been following us, um, with a little bit of abstinence because the aftermath is certainly exactly what it is. This episode series, starting off, is on the aftermath of a long, beautiful ride down to Tennessee on my motorcycle. As everyone followed me through the live posts that I would make on the way back, all you do know that there was a little bit of a incident that occurred. A lot of it I didn't remember at all. I still don't. I'm trying to piece some of it together, but with time you learn from the people that are around you not to think about that as much if you really haven't remembered it by now. It might come and go. So this aftermath is a really important episode because it's coming straight from the heart. And I know that there's some people out there that have been affected by themselves being in an incident with trauma to the brain or whatnot, or someone that you loved. It's a really hard thing to comprehend at times because for me, I'm going to totally talk about my own experience here. It makes me take a look at things a lot differently because I remember even growing up in school and whatnot, having friends or peers around us that have had accidents and made it through it, but had something going on with them. When you notice something in someone that's had an accident, it's easier to be a little bit more compassion in a sense. When someone that hasn't had a lot of the internal exposure to it, when it's noticeable, that's when it becomes a little bit of, are you sure you're all right? You look great. And I've gotten that from a lot of people. And there's a lot that comes with that. I'm feeling great, but there's a lot of work ahead of me as well. I'm still here for the long haul, everybody. Benny doesn't give up on anything. I'm going to stay unfiltered. I'm going to stay raw. I'm going to stay true to the truth. I'm going to always keep it as real as possible. And it does get difficult sometimes because you want to always sound perfect. You know, I want to be perfect, walk perfect, act perfect, and all that, especially when you're live and you're on multi-channels, you know, and there's some people that don't know me personally that are following, and I want to say thank you. I can't wait to get to know everybody with emails and letters or whatnot. This trauma that happened, for those that don't know exactly, it was about a week before Father's Day. I was coming back from the Tennessee trip. I did the Tail of the Dragon. It's an amazing journey. I made it through all these 130 winds down the mountain and everything, and it was beautiful. The people were beautiful. The scenery was beautiful. Coming back home, there was a lot of heat and all that, but something happened. I took a turn for another lane and ended up down in a ditch off the highway and back up and try to fix the riding to make it a safe one again. And it turned out to be something that the bike ejected me again. And I landed, no helmet. So I suggest everybody should start wearing their helmets. But I did. I landed. I don't remember any of it. I just know that I woke up 3 days later after a coma and was airlifted to that hospital and was told exactly, welcome back. So my wife was in the room present at that moment and doctors. There were some injuries there, not major, just broken ribs and the nose and shattered socket. But there was five skull fractures to the left side of the skull. See, that's where this part gets a little complicating because sometimes you're going to make a mistake when you're talking because you get a little bit anxiety over it. And if you know anybody or you're personally going through something like this, keep those things in mind because it was it was brought to my attention by one of my therapists just recently when I had talked about what was going on. I hadn't mentioned anything about my brain trauma or any of the stuff I'm personally going through. And she had a really good point. I didn't know that. You try to avoid these things a little bit because when you look good on the outside, you really want to do the best you can when you know you're hurting on the inside. So be yourself, but be honest about it, because these are things that can get better with time and the right specialists around you and therapists that are going to guide you through this journey. So don't give up. Don't ever give up on any of your dreams or your goals in life. They're important, and you got this. I know I do. It can get very, very challenging. That's the word I'm looking for. Challenges are good, especially when it becomes your challenge to become an entrepreneur or someone that you're, trying to be in life. So just keep remembering those true things. They're important. And I know I'm going to, ramble on a little bit, but it's important that everyone gets this message, because I don't want anyone just to leave and think this show is over, because it's not. It's only going to get better. We have a lot of episodes coming up in the next 4 series, and then we're getting ready to have our guests, and we're going to do some amazing things with those guests, because it's not about this program isn't about just me, just for the record. It's about us as a whole. I always talk about community and unity. It's important that we have a unity around our community that's going to make us help each other out with building each other's self-esteem, courage. Don't ever be insecure with yourself that you can't continue to go on, and be a leader. You're going to lead a lot of people down that road. With Bennie Unfiltered, it's important. It's even made more changes as it goes. This is all part of the plan that I didn't even have. I'm lucky and grateful to be alive. That day was an amazing experience for me now that I look back, because there's a lot to get better about. And not only do you hurt inside, but whenever there's a trauma or any kind of incident like this, the people around you are affected. Your wife or husband, your siblings, your kids, anyone that you are close to, they hurt as well. And sometimes neither one of the parties recognizes exactly how important that is to really realize it or step back a little bit. I've taken a look at these things because I like to analyze a lot, including analyzing myself. So while doing that, I look at the things that are around me. And I thought this incident was simply an owie on the knee, to be honest with you. I was ready to leave the hospital. So what happened was I stayed in that hospital after the coma for 20-something days, almost 30 days, and came back to Minnesota. And when I got home, there was a big, huge eye-opener for me, seeing my wife with this look on her face of, I almost just lost my husband. And she had to really experience some stuff because she stayed in a hotel with my sister that whole time and was only allowed certain visits, because of the whole COVID situation, which I tested negative on, by the way. It's an experience to go through. So don't give up on each other, okay? It's something that we'll have to learn to deal with and come alongside one another. Because during this incident of a trauma injury, the therapists, they keep it real. They walk through this with you, but they give you suggestions and a routine to stay focused on. For me, they know I'm an entrepreneur, that I'm very active in my community, that I'm a very go-getter, type of personality, and to sit back and be still and calm, it isn't easy. So all you people out there that know how to go, go, go and get it done, sometimes that's a crutch as well. One of the things that has always been told to me is slow down. To take your time. Take a moment to enjoy the moment and be about that moment, not about this moment, that moment, this moment, because it's all the future stuff of moments. Don't get ahead of yourself. These are why people of your circle of interest can be actually your circle of non-concerns, because the non-concerns and interests have a lot to do with each other, but they coactive with each other. And I've talked about that in the past, so I won't go there too much. But circle yourself around a very small circle of people in a situation like this, or if you know someone in a situation, come alongside them by teaching them how to do that. Everyone in my life that is in my life are there for a purpose. The ones that haven't been here or talked to me much, they don't understand the situation that much. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the show, was we don't know someone and what they've been through unless we've been there or know because of education. And some of the education comes from the people that you've worked with the brain stuff. I'm holding something in my hand right now from some of the therapists. I'm seeing like 6 therapists right now. And I mean, if you look at me, I look okay, right? So it's speech, it's anxiety, it's stuff like that. This right here, you guys, is always going to help me out. I love being available to others. I also want to learn how to be available to you, to be there for me. So when we talk about things, or we have hosts on here, when I talked about it earlier, it ain't about having someone here just to be doop, 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 and hey, it's about me, Bennie, Bennie, Bennie. Nope. It's going to be about Tammy, Ned, Ingrid, Bill, Adrian, tons of people that we'll have on this show that are pillars of our community, and then some. Because a lot of times people in the back end are the ones that never are seen or heard, but they're on the sideline giving you advice that you know sticks straight to the heart. And this is very important to accept and embrace those things. Don't be resentful or angry about the truth, because sometimes people are looking on the outside in, not on the inside out. But also voice yourself in a loving, caring, compassionate way. Be honest. But one of the therapists that I'm working with pointed out a lot of things. When someone doesn't see that they've got something that's apparent of having an injury like I do or have been through, it's things like increasing your rest. Always get your rest. That's important. And while your brain is learning how to function again, it needs the rest to do that. Because if you're speeding 1,000,000 miles an hour, what's happening is that the brain's going to shut down because it's already trying to teach itself the thing it's already known. But when you're going too fast and think of all this, I got to do this, I got to get this done, your brain goes too quick and then it shuts down. And what happens then is you get tired real easy, and you go to sleep, okay? And then you might get too much sleep. But what also can happen with that is it could cause some serious stuff. It could cause you to have bigger problems to face, so including taking your life possibly. So you got to be careful, and you got to listen, and you got to learn how to get the rest and do the things like maintaining your balance is another one, between rest and activity. So I'm still going to run a longboard, but I'm going to be a little bit safer probably when I do it. But going on walks or doing yoga or apps like Calm, you can breathe. These are important. It was also spoke on by another therapist, and I'm going to do this, and I know my producer is listening and whatnot, but doing a powwow type of thing when the staff shows up to go live, before we even get started, taking a moment with each other to meditate for 10 minutes, 5 if that's what it takes, but all of us get on the same page and we breathe and we exhale, breathe and exhale. And we get there and we get so zoned in that we are feeling better than we did when we walked in the door. That's positive, and it's go getting stuff to get some longevity and build that longevity into a goal that you've set upon yourself to do. One of my things has always been to build that foundation because I want a legacy. It ain't about just making money and having all the material things in life, like the guitars and this and that. It's about building a legacy for your family so they can spread that on. That's what Bennie Unfiltered is going to be about when I talk about myself and my goals. And when you meet some of the hosts that'll be on, the guests that'll be on here, you're going to hear them say those things. It's about integrity and character and building a longevity life for your family. Putting food on the table can go around and it should be spread. That's with your team. My team, without them, there is no Bennie Unfiltered. With them, it's amazing. We're getting ready to do some big things. So we'll do things like the rest and activity stuff. Gradually return activities that were stopped in the first place. You got to go back to the things that you were used to doing. So don't give up on that. And that's just a little brief of some of this stuff. I'm going to post some stuff on here later for people to take a look at. Because as you notice, besides our Bennie Unfiltered stuff that we do live, we always have stuff on there for you to get more educated on. And that'll be there for you guys to, if there's any questions about any of this stuff, you know someone going through some stuff, because I don't want to drag on too much about all that. I can get caught up in it. And I don't want to go too ahead of things and lose myself, because this is going to be a pretty good program. I'm looking forward to even just watching it myself. And I used to not do that to see myself on live stuff. Now I'm looking at it because I want to be a better human being, period. And I want to be grateful for having the brain that I have right now and not being without some of the things that could have happened to me that day. Because that motorcycle injury, I'm still going to ride. I'm still gonna get on my Harley, and I'm going to ride and love doing that because that's something I enjoy doing my life. But it's going to be a lot more different, of course. So don't be scared to take these chances in your life. One of the things I want to touch on with about having hosts, being a host and having guests on, is it is going to be about us as a community. So anybody that's wanting to hear something or even possibly getting an opportunity to be on this show, we're going to do some cool things. So feel free to write the email or look on the website. And as far as that goes, that's pretty much about all that. I just want to tell everybody, welcome back. Seriously. Not just me welcoming myself back, but welcome back. Because the next episode is going to be a lot different than even this one was. I just rambled on about what happened. I'm free from the hospital. I got beautiful people in my circle that's small, and probably some new ones coming, because I'm going to meet all kinds of people out there that have a story that's going to touch millions of lives on how they made it possible to be successful, or who's still going through it. And with that comes the struggles. So when we make it in life on goals, we don't stop there. We want to make more goals, and we have more people approaching us for other opportunities. So don't ever turn away because some of those things are just fearful at that moment. Embrace them. Be strong. I'm going to tell you, this incident that's happened to me has something in store for me. That's why I'm alive. I'm not here just for the heck of it. There's a reason and a purpose that God has created me to be who I am and then some. Bennie Unfiltered is going to the top. I've said it. I'm going to do it. 2020, 21 coming up. Come on. This is a big year for all of us. Let's get past this COVID thing and work towards each other. Be careful and cautious about some things, but take care of yourself and don't brush people away. And if you know someone that's been affected by that, don't shy away from them and make them feel this small. As a human and as a community, we should never ever break each other's light out because it's wrong. And as a person, don't be ugly, be pretty. And it doesn't matter what color, what religion, what sex. It doesn't matter. It's about who we are and embracing. It's not up to me to do any judging for anybody. Just practice what we preach. So what's done behind scenes, that's where the blessings come. What's done right here, and me putting on a jacket and looking pretty for everybody with a brain trauma, isn't always what it's supposed to look like on the outside. It's what's on the inside. So care about yourself and embrace that. And if you know somebody that's going through struggles, embrace them. Don't be selfish and take it all to the bank yourself. Feed the world with each other. And I know people gave me an opportunity in the beginning. So don't ever sell that short and forget where you come from. So that's enough with Bennie Unfiltered. That was pretty much an aftermath and then some, I'm sure. But I'm glad that everyone was there for me on this, because I even got a little lost in there myself. Because I want to sit here and I want to break down sometimes about how I'm feeling on the inside, because I can't believe I'm still here. And I don't know what life is there for me to do now, because I know there's something special. So I got to remember to just remember that, but don't worry about it. It's going to come. And it's a part of this journey. It might just be meeting you for the first time. So thank you for everything. And thank you for being who you guys are. Because this is going to be just as fulfilling for me and enlighten me up to be even better with you, not just me. We all grow together. So let's call this one episode Aftermath and Beyond, okay? Because our next episode's coming up next Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time on how can God work in your life, okay? Whether it's a God or spiritual, it doesn't matter. When I say that, that's my belief. If you have a belief that you believe in, that's your higher power that makes you a better person every day, we'll touch on it. It ain't about me pinpointing anybody's spirituality out other than having something within, because that's going to give you that gut feeling when something might not be right or something might be wrong. Okay? So having a purpose there to hold you accountable is huge. Trust me. If not, I'm going to feel like we got some more work to do. Okay? So stay tuned. Let's do this. It's Bennie and I'm back and you're back with me. We're going to do this together. Right in. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. 21's coming. Love everybody. Stay in the truth. Stay in this moment. And like I always say, living the dream. If I can do it, anybody can. I'm not saying that just to be saying it. I'm back. And I'm ready for this ride. So let's do this. Quit looking past you. You got this moment right now. The past is what's made you who you are right now. The future's to come. You can think about it, but don't be stuck on it, because you got to be in the moment to make that happen. And support all your local businesses. They need your help. A lot of them we lost. Support local. Support everybody around you. And that's it. Bennie Unfiltered. We'll see you next Wednesday for the next episode, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Love ya, and we'll see you then. Stay true.